Welcome back to another episode of Scryer's Room. I am your host, Famfare.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Mario.
This is Matt. I'm the guest for today.
So Uncle Matty!
Yeah, it's 4 of us total. Kevin, where's your mic? Is there a...
This is a shared mic.
So, we're going to address this. So, the audio quality on this podcast has been dubious at best over the last 50 or so episodes.
We do our best.
Yeah, we do our best. I'm still learning. But the acoustics of the room that we record in make no sense whatsoever because the microphone that Maticate is speaking into is facing towards him, as you would think a microphone should.
Yeah.
The microphone Kevin has been using since day one has been pointed towards Mario, away from him, and
he still comes out clearer than
and
me.
He comes
usually.
out the clearest always.
Clear as crystal.
It's faced not towards him at all. I can't explain the acoustics of that. It's sorcery. He's a wizard. This is a podcast about wizards. That's just how it works.
It was the wrong power to choose, I think.
It's what he's stuck with. See, that's the thing. That's why you're a sorcerer, because you just have magic in your... But you didn't choose that shit. Yeah.
This is just how I am.
He just has the voice.
I'm just naturally theatrical.
He's dragonborn.
He's got mysterious powers.
He does have mysterious powers.
No, at least I know Gaib.
God damn.
That's good. That's good shit.
I'm really glad. The Dune movies, whatever you think of them, I really enjoyed them. But you have to admit that the memes that came out of it also just...
Oh, fire, bro.
Spectacular.
Fire.
Everything about the what's his Villeneuve, whoever the fuck the director's name
Denis
is.
Villeneuve.
Yeah.
Denis Villeneuve.
Everything he's done with Dune is fantastic. I'll trust that man. I don't know if he could pull off Worm Hitler, but
Now, he's done some very competent sci-fi before he did Dune. So yeah, like Arrival was awesome.
I mean, I just feel like
Rival was awesome.
So,
like God Emperor Dune
I
would
had
be
faith in
real
it.
hard to pull off though, just because it's so weird.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which it's hard to explain if you've never read it. Like, it's about one of them became the immortal worm man, god, emperor.
Yep. Turns out key to immortality was wearing a bunch of worms as a Gundam or Evangelion of some
You
kind.
fused with them.
Yeah.
I believe we touched on this in a previous episode. Yeah.
Almost certainly.
TLDR starts as a worm Iron Man suit, and then over time he becomes an actual worm man. Still got a head though, so
Yeah.
and then
So he gets so strange that I doubt that even a beautiful successor to Timothée Chalamet could portray him.
Yeah, God bless.
it's also just a really unconventional story because it's like there's no like clear like protagonist. Like he is sort of, but he's also the bad guy. Like
I mean, you also
he's the
can't
horrible
follow
god
him because
emperor.
he's essentially the narrator. He has essentially omnipotence because he knows everything that's going to happen and is guiding everything that's going to happen.
Yeah.
We've gotten off topic already.
You guys brought up Dune. Sorry.
We invited Uncle Matty here.
Yeah.
To bring him on, but you know about a nerd thing, and we need you to explode it on us.
A nerd
Dirty
thing,
style.
yes. Speaking of sci-fi, that's pretty good. A lot of people seem to think that this Star Trek shit is pretty good.
I have heard that.
I agree with them.
My sister introduced me to Star Trek, so I have some of my oldest memories, core memories, are going into my house and watching my big sister have various Star Trek on the TV while she's cradled on the couch with her laptop. And I remember I would sometimes sit and watch it with her. And that was my main way I ingested Star Trek, and basically every single time it hit. There was never one where I was like, this is dumb, I hate this. I never once had a thought when I was watching Star Trek. It was always like, wow, this is wicked sick, like they're having laser battles. Or it's like...
What series? Was you watching TNG?
Typically, it would be TNG, Deep Space Nine, or Voyager. That is typically the ones we would have in rotation on our TV. My personal favorite of the captains, I would have to say, is Cisco, because I quite enjoy the angry black man trope. And so angry black man captain is like, that's Star Trek needed that spice. It was very like vanilla and like, campy. There are so many times in The Next Generation where Picard just looks at the camera and does this like goofy smile where he's like, yeah, I just fucking said that.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it's so fucking good.
There's I don't know. So you did a little Star Trek viewing in your youth, and
Yes.
your dad's like a Trek person, so you probably have some cursory knowledge, or
I have a very vague knowledge of it. So my dad loves Star Trek. Like that's his thing that he loves.
yeah.
He even has a superpower, which is when he wants to go to sleep. And by the way, this is a super sad superpower because you get it from trauma. But when he wants to go to sleep, all he really needs to do is like focus on like playing the intro to the like every episode where it's like space, the final frontier, like these are the voyages of, and like he just runs through that. He never makes it to the end. He falls asleep immediately.
More effective than counting sheep.
Way more effective than counting sheep. My mom and I, in particular, have a horrible time getting to sleep, and we're very jealous.
Sound like you need to rev up that trauma. Oh yeah.
I got the wrong kind.
Get yourself. Oh yeah. What were we just saying? What's your sad superpower?
Oh man.
Weren't we talking about that before?
My whole personality?
Oh, brutal. I don't remember.
I don't know.
I don't have memories.
I
I don't have memories.
I thought we had a
that is
bit
kind of one of the sad superpowers. That,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there we go.
There we
because
go.
we were before we started recording, we were talking about a story that I told in this podcast, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had completely forgotten about it until like 30 seconds into them recounting it to me. So I get to re-experience a lot of things.
Fun on a bun.
That's a pretty good power.
It's there. Yeah.
It's got some drawbacks.
I wish I could forget Star Trek so I can watch it all again.
Oh baby.
I love it so much. What about you, Mario? You know about Star Trek or anything?
A little bit.
Do you know this thing?
Yeah.
You know, I'm doing the
The
I'm doing the
Vulcan.
Spock, the Vulcan salute.
Because I can't really actually like do it.
My dad had me doing that from the time
My
that
fingers don't want to.
What about your other hand?
so
I've been conditioned by my sister.
as far back as my
fingers
brain
really
is
weird.
capable of remembering, my dad
Can't,
has
like,
taught me to
bend
do that.
backwards.
Yep. It's important to be conditioned.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh yeah, we
yeah.
had some crosstalk. I think we were having two different conversations on the.
Oh,
Is that going to translate?
I'm sorry, everybody.
You're good. We're having a good time.
We ADD pretty hard.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Sorry,
my,
can
my
you-
dad would watch it occasionally. The Next Generation,
Mm-hmm.
and so I would just, I'm like 4 or 5 or something. So it's just sort of like, oh, okay, cool. There's an alien. Sometimes they go pew. Pew, pew.
Well, sometimes they fuck the aliens.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
this,
yeah.
this is awesome.
So I never really cared much for Star Trek. Never really watched it until a few years ago. I watched the whole of the original series. And that was weird. It was good. I enjoyed it, but the original series is real goofy.
I tried to
Yeah.
watch it after he did it, and like I got probably to episode like 5 or 6 before I was like, a lot of these are fucking weird. Like
It's bizarre. It's
I
out
really
there.
enjoyed Next Generation. Everything I saw, and that was pretty cool. But yeah, the original series there was some wacky stuff.
So my plan was then to watch all of the Next Generation, but I was like, oh wow, it's got like 10 seasons. I'll come back to that, and then I just haven't.
Yeah, I had a similar
I know
experience.
a little bit about it.
Yeah, I because I noticed that they were on Netflix and like I don't know, a few years ago. It must have been like 2018-ish. And I said, oh yeah, maybe I'll watch this because I thought that they were half-hour episodes. So I'm like, yeah, without commercials, they'll be like 20 minutes. I'll just breeze through it. It's all it's only 7 seasons. And I'm like, oh, these are all 45 minutes because the show was an hour.
This show was a big deal.
Yeah, so I'm looking at TOS, TNG, DS9. Oh, so the people typically abbreviate these shows when they talk about them.
Oh,
TOS, the original series. TNG, the Next Generation. DS9, Deep Space Nine. VOY, Voyager. ENT, Enterprise. And there's some shorthand for the modern series, but I haven't really watched most of the modern stuff because it really is just horrible.
Oh, that's sad.
It lost the spirit. It lost the spirit of what Star Trek was about. And it tended to modernize for all of the wrong reasons. And it
Yeah.
took all the wrong aspects of the show and preserved them in the wrong
Did
way.
you did you ever see that Seth MacFarlane Star Trek type show?
Oh, the Othello or the Orville?
The Orville, yeah.
No, I never did.
My dad says that it really scratched the Star Trek itch for him.
That's what I've heard. Because I don't really want to talk about any of the news here. Like anything post like 2015, I think is when Discovery started. Because I tried to get into Discovery, super boring. Just was totally bored by it. Picard, I watched the first 2 seasons. They only did 3. And it's just some of the worst writing that I've ever seen on any television show, which is especially offensive in Star Trek because the writing is like
That's the
heart
core
of it.
yeah.
And they've made so many other series. They did like Prodigy is something that they did. That was like a Nickelodeon show. It's like animated Captain Janeway from Voyager. I don't know if that was any good. I didn't watch it. They did like the Section 31 movie. I skipped that too.
Is Lower Decks?
Lower Decks, yeah. I've heard like mixed stuff about Lower Decks, but I don't know. I think that's like a Family Guy-esque cartoon. I don't know.
Can I ask you something?
What's that?
Do you think modern Star Trek would be better if it like maintained the very not low? It was never like Star Trek. Even in its like the original series was cheap, but it didn't look like obvious garbage generally. Mm-hmm. Do you think if they had a similarly like strained budget, it would be better? Because let me tell you, that means that they have to put that money places where it really counts.
Yeah, I mean, you get sometimes when you're in that strained, when something is, because they have like unlimited money now.
Yeah, exactly.
So the strain is that they have bad writers, but you can't really get good art from that. You can't give a bad writer like $400 million and be like, hey, make a TV show.
The only thing that makes a bad writer any better is starving them to death.
Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna say, you said Picard had like really shitty writing, but didn't it look good though, right?
Oh yeah, it looks amazing.
Visually.
Yeah. Discovery does too. They look fantastic.
So it's like they nail that part, but then it's just like there's nothing to like glue it together.
Yeah,
it
but
just looks real nice.
Yeah, so I haven't like watched
Picard making like rabbit pizza or whatever the fuck. It's like one of the first 2 episodes or something.
When
and it's just like a
when Riker makes some pizza with the burnt tomato.
I don't. Somebody makes a fucking like rabbit pizza in Picard. And it's like...
What do you mean by a rabbit pizza?
He cooks a rabbit and puts it on pizza.
The rabbit is a topping. Okay.
Yeah.
No, not pizza for rabbits. No, that would be
or
much
a rabbit-shaped
better.
pizza.
That's what I was imagining.
Rabbits.
Like a big Easter pizza.
I'd love that.
Pizza with a bunch of carrots all over it.
Yeah, for my bubbas.
Carrots, applesauce, and tomato sauce. You can color it red with food coloring real easy.
Yeah, rabbit pizza.
That'd be adorable.
I give it to my babies for their birthday.
Oh, carrots! Carrots.
It's the opposite. You're killing them.
When you chop up carrots, they look a lot like pepperonis.
They do. I immediately went. Yeah,
it's adorable.
He gets me, but no. You see, Picard's here slaughtering rabbits like a savage.
Yeah, you can print that shit out.
I was just pointing at it. Shot very well.
Shot pretty well. All the effects are amazing.
But the other half of the equation isn't there.
Yeah, I don't want to look at something that's like a nice looking show if it's like it's just brain dead.
Right.
Cause most of the like plot threads kind of just go nowhere, or like they don't really make sense.
I hate that. I hate when they like give you like a plot thing and it's like, yeah, we did that for reasons. It's dubious and mysterious. It's like, dude, fuck you. No,
that's the first 2 seasons of Picard. I've heard the third one was okay, but because they brought that was the gimmick. Like for the final season, we're gonna bring the whole cast back. Beverly Crusher and Commander Riker, or I guess he would have been a retired captain or whatever by then. But
right.
you know what I mean. The characters. But I didn't bother with that. But I don't really want to talk about those because I haven't seen most of it because it's either boring or terrible. But
you've seen like a good chunk of the meat of what is Star Trek.
Yeah. If anyone is interested in terrible Star Trek, I watched the YouTube Red Letter Media. They made a bunch of videos about that already. So I don't really have anything else to say about it that they haven't. If people like other YouTubes. And the original 5 series, the original Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise, those already comprise like 900 episodes. So
much fucking
content. Like after even if you cut out the intro sequence and the credits, it's still like 700-ish hours of pure content.
Lovely.
There's this guy Gene Roddenberry. He was like some kind of World War II pilot, and he wanted to make a sci-fi show. And so he made a show in 1966 or 7, whatever it was, late 60s show, the original series. It was just called Star Trek. So now that we have all the other shows, it's what they call a retronym. Because we now call it the original series since there's more than one of them. And that's got, Captain Kirk. This is kind of, I guess, one of the most famous ones. This one and The Next Generation, the one that came after it.
Yeah.
Good old Will Shatner, man.
Yeah, William Shatner, still going strong. He's like 93 now.
And it's to my understanding, when he was first casted as Kirk, he thought he was above the role. He was like, I am like a theater actor. This is beneath me. And that's why he really, we caricaturize him when he does his performances as Kirk, because he's, apparently more classically trained actor.
Oh, no, I actually don't know about that.
That's just what I heard. I don't quote me on it, but I just overheard that.
So whenever I hear somebody say classically trained actor and all that stuff, it's very important to me that people understand that being, trained as an actor isn't the same as being trained as acting like a regular person, convincingly. Like, being an actor isn't just, wow, I really believe that's that character. It's they have to do that and also caricaturize themselves so that you can tell. Because generally people aren't that emotive. And what happens when you train somebody to specifically try to do that is they lose their minds. We shouldn't be thinking about how to communicate like that intensely, I don't think, as a species. But I'm pretty happy we do it.
And bees do it, right? They communicate with dancing. That's like a big emote. Because you got to emote with your whole body.
Right, but they're not trying to act like they're not emoting. They're trying to communicate.
I guess so.
An actor is trying to hide that they are trying to communicate while still clearly communicating.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes you into a weird and then, of course. And then you speak in expletives and superlatives because you're a crazy person now.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I say all of this to say that that's what I hear when I hear classically trained actor.
Yeah, accurate. You've basically lost your mind to some degree. Yeah.
I'm not saying whether they're good or bad. They're probably a pretty, respected or successful person by whatever metric they choose. I'm not judging on that. But it is a type.
Yes, sir.
And, also, I've been drinking a couple Yinglings here because I can't get Yingling where I'm from.
Mm.
So...
Yeah, that's he came over from the West Coast boys.
Yeah.
Over from California, which I guess Yingling is not shipped all the way out there.
No, we don't get it in California.
Yeah, it doesn't go up to Michigan either. When my cousin Jessica was down, she was like, "Oh my god, I gotta get Yingling." I was like, "Yeah, let's get some Yingling. It's tasty."
Yes, I'm going to be enjoying some of these periodically. I don't know if it'll sip. If I sip, will it pick up?
I think it will if you talk into the can.
There you go. There it was. That's fine.
So yeah, the original series was it kind of started, the whole thing, obviously. And I think William Shatner's the only one still alive, because Leonard Nimoy played Spock.
I think Takei's alive.
No, I think
Takei's alive.
Oh, he is? He is?
Yeah,
okay,
he is.
Okay.
I forgot about Sulu.
Yeah.
But Nichelle Nichols is gone, Lieutenant Uhura. But they had a pretty good whole cast of characters, and they would, if anyone's not familiar with the premise of Star Trek, is people fly around through space, and they typically are in a situation where they have to solve a space crime or
a space adventure.
Yeah, but do some space politics, because they're in the future. Humanity has conquered sickness and poverty, whatever else.
Yeah, we're post-scarcity at this point.
We're post-scarcity. We're flying through space. We've got, in orbit, we have space stations where we can build ships.
Yeah.
You can materialize things from thin air. The ships are equipped with replicators. You can just say to the computer, make tea, or whatever, and it'll just make a whole cup of tea. And so they are mostly trying to just go out and explore the galaxy. They're curious about the universe. They find new species, Spock is a Vulcan. Vulcans are pretty prominently featured throughout all of the series, ever since the original one, because that dynamic between Captain Kirk, who is a human, and then Spock, who is a Vulcan, was pretty integral to the how the show their dynamic was.
Oh yeah, it's still like a thing that like when you talk to people who have studied it at all, like if they want to like explain to a person like, well, how do you like come up with like what's the best group of people to get together? Like I think it's there's I remember the Sanguinary is one of them. There's like a trifecta of character types, but if there's one way that you can explain it to people best is the Kirk, Spock, and what's his name, Bones.
Yeah, Dr. McCoy.
McCoy,
Yeah.
yes. The Kirk, Spock, McCoy dynamic of emotional, like id, ego, of emotional, unemotional, and the balance between them.
Yeah, Vulcans have it's
They had
not
incredible
it's not correct to say they have no emotions, the Vulcans, but
Right.
they
train it out of them.
Yeah, they have like rituals where they train themselves to suppress their emotions. They're all about logic. Emotions make you do bad things. You got to do the logical. And they also live to be like 200, so they live a long time.
Yeah,
They're
Vulcans.
like elves.
Yeah, Vulcans are the original space elf.
They are,
yeah.
And
Even got the pointy ears.
I believe even within Warhammer 40,000, the Eldar, the Craftworld Eldar, do very, very like ritualistic, like meditative stuff to like suppress the allure of Slanesh, which I always assumed was a tip towards Vulcans in their rituals to suppress their emotions and to be logical, ascetic beings.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. I'd buy that.
Oh yeah, no, that's the premise of the show, and that's kind of maintained throughout most of the pre 2005 Star
Before
Trek
New
era.
Trek,
Before
yeah.
New Trek, as we call it, which started with Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah.
That's, I want to say, maybe 12 years after the original series. Going to go to TNG now.
Real quick, I want to touch. To my understanding, the original series was canceled because it featured the first interracial kiss on television. Apparently,
I know that factually is true, that is the first interracial kiss on television. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and people were apparently so upset by this that is what got the show pulled.
I don't think that's exactly right. The show, it was always really popular so it was always a really progressive show. I guess I should touch on
Yes.
that.
I also believe
reason
it
I
has
love
come back from cancellation a bunch of times.
Okay, it probably is like
Yeah.
Gundam, where that was probably icing on, or the
That
last
was-
straw for some people, or something.
That was one time we
I
got
just remember
canceled for
hearing
that, and then
about
we got
this.
renewed.
Okay,
later, yeah.
for sure. Okay, that makes perfect sense.
Because they've been sporadically making
Yeah.
Star Trek. Even
Yeah.
like the movies and stuff were going on like well past like decades after.
Okay,
Decade.
I
probably.
buy
Yeah,
that. I buy that.
Yeah, they even after the original series did get canceled, because it's a live action show, most of it is, but they did the animated series that was like early 70s, and they didn't do anything
Really?
for a while. Yeah,
Yeah, that's where the Kirk meme comes from.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which I never actually watched. I think a couple of the episodes are just from the original series, but they're just animated. Like I think some of the episodes are just exactly the same.
Okay.
But no,
That's a hell of
a
a budget saving technique.
Yeah. So I did not watch that. I think it's just one season of animated stuff that they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like earlier mid 70s, and then they started doing the movies, and then they did Next Generation. It started in 87, 86 or 87. So yeah, it was more like maybe 17 years between series, because the show was really popular with. And it was always seen as like a smarter kind of show. Like these are the days when people would write letters into the network, back in the 60s.
Yeah.
Because the show was, I think they threatened to cancel it after every season because it just cost too much or whatever.
Okay, there you go.
But they
It
got,
costs too much. Everything's on fire. Your
They-
uniforms stink.
but they got like tens of thousands of letters all the time. But it was like, no, don't cancel the show. Don't cancel the show. And it was from people, because people used to have stationery with
Yeah.
like letterheads and it
From
was,
the office of, and then your
Yeah.
actual government name.
Yeah, and it
That's
would always
insane.
And it would be letters from like, I don't know, doctors and like lawyers and
Yeah.
stuff. People that are considered to be kind of like smarter
Yeah.
people, honestly.
Respectable folk, even.
Respectable professions. So it was always kind of thought of as, I guess, a smarter show, and then later as a nerd show.
Yeah.
But there's a couple years go by, decade and a half, whatever. There's some movies starting to go on. They did 6 movies with the cast of the original series.
Yeah.
But also, they start a new series on television. The Next Generation of Star Trek? Oh my gosh, this is going to be so amazing! And it was.
Yeah, it was. It was sick.
It was, they took some time to get their footing. The first season is like, okay. I don't want to say it's terrible, but it's okay.
They needed to find their footing, yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole new cast. There's no Kirk, Spock, whatever.
Yeah.
There's Captain Picard. There's, Commander Riker, some of the characters I mentioned earlier, talking about the new Picard series. But they all started here on The Next Generation. And this is, scripts that were left over from the original show. Just talking about the first season specifically. Like, some of them were left over and were kind of, touched up and, finalized for...
Right, but they were basically recycled.
They were basically recycled, yeah. And so some of them are kind of corny. It's been 15 years since the 60s. It was a different time.
Yeah.
It's still low budget because it hasn't really... They don't really start to get a budget until season 3. So even season 2 looks kind of...
I wanted to address one of my favorite things in The Next Generation is that sometimes between scene transitions, Sir Patrick Stewart, bless your heart, will just look into the camera and just give this like smug little smile, like, yeah, I just said that shit. And I love it so much. It's so good every single time. It's so campy.
Did you hear that? It was pretty cool, right?
Yeah, he was also an actor from like some middle of nowhere town in England. I read part of his memoir because I own it.
I know more about Patrick Stewart than I know about
Shatner.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was from some place where they had a really weird dialect, as most places in England probably do.
Yeah. You're from 2 miles away. Can't even understand you.
Right.
Learn to speak the Queen's. See, I'm getting too mean. That's unnecessary. I'm being unnecessary right now.
It happens so quick every time.
It's just too easy.
He had an accent, you say?
He had an accent.
Tuesday.
God damn it! What?
We're still going.
It's so easy. That's also. That's why you can't always go back to that well. You gotta space it out. Right. Come on. All right. Serious up. We got a show to do. All right.
So this show, besides having an English actor, there's a new crew. One of them is a robot, which is pretty nuts because he's the most sophisticated android in the whole galaxy. Well, he's one of like 3 or 4.
Data, my
Data.
favorite character. He is best boy.
Yeah, Data is amazing.
It's so weird to see that actor outside of being Data.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't look right with human skin.
Yeah, when you see him in like what was he in the? What's the movie where there's aliens?
A lot of them.
The
Independence Day.
he was in the new Independence Day. It's called Resurgence.
He was in the original Independence Day.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was the scientist that when the alien first like breaks out of its mech and like it wraps its tail around the scientist and smashes it against the glass, and the scientist is like, "Let me out."
Yeah.
That scientist, Data himself.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in like 20 years.
Remember that, Sam? Samesies.
We watch a lot of garbage movies over at my house.
Look at this piece of shit.
It rules.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, this show continues to explore that sort of same progressive feeling. Like we want to, make metaphors kind of about, human culture on Earth by, exploring these different alien, fictional alien cultures. Like they do an episode where, I guess I'll maybe start to talk about some of the more episode examples. What are we, half an hour in? How long does this run for?
Well, about an hour. We go a little over.
Okay, I'm probably going to like speed run through the series really quick and then...
Take your time with it, man.
Backtrack.
Flow. Yeah,
Go
feel
with the
for
flow.
it.
Just so I can kind of touch on everything. Yeah. Like, again, 700 hours of content, so I'm going to distill this down a little bit.
Yeah. It's a lot of stuff to get through.
And, like there's an episode... so many of them are so good. But there's just offhand, there's one where like they go to a planet where all the aliens are non-binary. They got no gender on the planet.
Oh, that's fun.
And they're like, oh, you got no gender. That's pretty cool, huh? But you seem to have, like, a functioning society. You're good people. Maybe you could join our federation. Well, we like people that are different but are really cool,
Yeah, especially if you don't require a lot of makeup to be. We love having those.
Sure, yeah. If you don't have to do Klingon style makeup, if we just have to put a couple marks on
like some ridges or something.
If you get a couple little nubblies on you, and then
you're going to be popular.
You spend 20 minutes in makeup, but Riker ends up, kind of he has a tryst with one of the aliens. He kind of falls in love with her a little bit because she, even though she's non-binary, she decides that she does want to identify with a gender. So she decides to be. She's like, yeah, I think I could be a woman. That sounds cool.
But for you.
Yeah.
Have sex with that beard?
So that's an episode of The Next Generation?
Yeah, and that's the whole thing is that...
that's unironically a plot point I wanted to use in my novel. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's kind of
I'll have to watch that episode.
Yeah, it's a bit of a simplistic premise. Because they go through and, and there's a... Halfway through, they're kind of playing poker. That's something they do on TNG, is they're kind of playing poker games sometimes. And they're all playing poker, and you kind of get every other character's sort of... what their opinion is. And Worf is the one that's like, that's a little fucked up. It's got to be men and women. That's how culture is. Worf is sometimes a little... Klingons are a little more... I don't know. They're a little more... I don't want to say barbaric. They're kind of just like...
Conservative?
They're a little conservative, I guess. However you describe. Yeah, so he's like, that's weird. She got no gender?
He's often devil's advocate. We can say that. In writing terms, that's the side that he would be.
Yeah, that's kind of... Yeah. And everyone in the show kind of gets... In that episode kind of gets a little arc. Even Worf does at the end. Because, she wants to become a woman, but the kind of council, I guess, that runs the planet, they go, well, no, we don't do that. We're all just genderless. So... We're gonna put you in a pray the straight away camp, and you're gonna fucking not have a gender anymore.
Oh man, the gay agenda! Yeah. Oh no!
Well, how do we fuck each other then? We have to at least sometimes one of us has to be one or the other.
Well, they do.
That has to occur.
They do.
Why can't I do it for 5 minutes with Beardy?
Yeah, they mention it briefly because Riker is like a sex predator, so he goes, hey, if we were gonna calm down, how would we go about doing that, huh? And she's like, well, in my species, to have sex, we basically become a cocoon for a week.
And he's like, all wrapped up together, you say.
Nowhere to go.
He didn't hear for a second, we don't have compatible genitalia. That isn't what he heard. That's what she said, by the way.
Yeah.
We don't have compatible genitalia. You can't become a cocoon.
This is a perfect time to bring up one of my favorite sci-fi concepts in all of media. The Harkness test.
Oh, yeah.
My lovely listeners, if you are not familiar with the Harkness test, there is a character on Doctor Who, I think his name is James Harkness.
Jack Harkness.
Harkness. Captain Jack, who is famous for copulating with as many alien women as possible.
A real Riker.
And the ethics behind doing so are laid out into the Harkness test. I believe the Harkness test is as follows. Is the creature of sexual maturity for its species?
Important.
Can the creature communicate and therefore give consent?
Even more important.
And then I think before all of that is the character or is the creature sapient? Is it capable of intelligence? You have to establish this. If all three of these things are real, it's intelligent, it can give consent, and it is mature for its species, it is ethical to fuck it. That is just how that works.
Right. If you're missing any of those, nope, right to jail.
Yeah, right to jail. Right to jail. Off with his head.
I agree with that outline.
But Riker, I'm sure he has that on his fucking wall. Just plastered. Like, yes. Captain Jack, my man. Because that man stayed thirsty the entire fucking show.
100%.
Holy cow.
I got them into trouble a couple times. Like, he should have been fucking court-martialed once or twice.
What a piece of shit.
Him just standing... Him standing in the courtroom doing like the big like Captain Morgan rum stance that he does where he just leans in on his knee. I don't understand what I'm being court-martialed for.
What a piece of shit!
But he loves this alien lady who's not supposed to have a gender, and her government doesn't want her to have one. And so they're like, we're the crew of the Federation Starship Enterprise. We understand that, you might want to be different. We're cool with that. So they try to, appeal to the government, and they're like, no, she's going to pray the straightaway camp. And so they, go down to rescue her. It's a situation where Picard kind of turns a blind eye to it, because Picard believes in what Riker is doing. He wants to go down to the planet or whatever, but he doesn't say that explicitly. But Picard kind of gets what he's trying to do, and he's like, "We're leaving, at 0600 tomorrow. If you need to go down to do any business on the planet between then and now, just do whatever you need to do, and then we will leave." So he mounts a little rescue mission, and Worf catches wind of it. This is where Worf kind of, because he only has 2 scenes in the episode. Sorry. He's like, non-binary is weird. But then at the end of the episode, he kind of comes around. He doesn't really come around, but he catches winds of, that Riker is doing this, and he goes, "Look, I don't understand this non-binary shit, but I can't let a friend go into battle alone."
Yeah,
see, that's the wholesome moral. That's good, Star Trek. You don't have to get it, but you can still be supportive.
Yeah.
That's so wholesome.
Worf is an ally. Yeah. So there's ethical,
Also, importantly, Riker, you have to understand that this is an act of war.
Yeah, right, dude?
We are invading and extracting one of their citizens. We're not allowed to do that.
But by the time they get there, it's too late, and they just leave. So sad end. But that's the kind of stuff that social issues, they like to kind of make metaphors out of that and tackle that in the show. And not every episode is like that. Sometimes there's just weird shit, in the original series. That happens a lot. But there's
a lot of Twilight Zone shit where it's like, wasn't that fucked up?
Yeah.
We talked about. I don't think we talked about this yet.
The Twilight Zone consists of just the.
There's basically 2 types of Twilight Zone episodes, of crazy social situation / deconstruction of real life.
Yeah.
And wow, isn't that fucked up?
Yeah, and everyone in the hospital's pigs too.
Wow, isn't that fucked up?
They're all pigs.
Crazy.
What does that even mean? Who can say? Scary though, right?
Well, the one that's the big one to me is the glasses one.
Yeah.
There was time now. It's not fair. There was time now. Like the moral of that story. Wow, pretty fucked up. Moving on.
Right.
Turns out no one wins at the end of the world.
Yeah, it's like why?
No
what?
kidding. Why did I need to know that?
Yeah, fuck, man, it sucks.
Which, that's dumb, because the world is empty now. Surely there's another pair of glasses with your prescription.
You know what I mean?
I always thought that. Just try on 100 pairs until you get the
go find it, dude.
Just
Lazy
hold the
bitch.
book closer.
or
that,
or that, But specifically with the bad ending, that seems to happen more regularly in Star Trek than a lot of other IPs I've watched. There were several times where.
Speaking of eye problems, and I actually would like to walk back on the hold the book closer. I forgot that your eyes get bad in a different way. What was up with that visor on Geordie LaForge? Was he blind? Was that a thing?
Yeah, he's a blindo.
So,
or whatever is the PC term for it.
I know it's not blind.
If I was a betting boy.
I can tell you with certainty, you
Oh.
just came up with blindness.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. Of course I did.
But, my knowledge of Star Trek is very spotty. I don't know anything about him. I was fully willing to accept that some guys just have that.
It's a pretty sick, nasty visor.
Yeah, because I've seen episodes without him wearing that.
He gets his eyes cured at one point, or fixed, or he gets robot eyes, something like that.
So there's only a handful of episodes where he doesn't have it. In the series finale, all the way at the end, there's a part where Picard's going into the future, and he's got eye implants that are just normal, look like normal eyeball. But yeah, he went blind as a child or something. So that visor lets him see infrared signals and stuff, so he perceives the world in kind of a different way, and that becomes in a couple episodes, that's where it's oh, we can't see, maybe we can modify your visor to pick up the alien frequency or whatever. So that does come up a couple
That's
times
fun.
too, which is cool.
That's super fun.
But yeah, no, he is blind, and he in the movies though he isn't blind, because I don't know, he had some clout by then as an actor. He probably said, I don't want to fucking wear the prosthetic anymore.
Yeah.
So in the first Next Generation movie, they made 4 of those. And
fixed it.
Star Trek Generations was in 1995. That came out, and that's one of the. I think the second scene in the movie, Data's like, "Wow, it's great that you can see now, Geordi." He's like, "Yeah, it is."
pretty base.
I don't know, just strapped this prosthetic on my face.
Looking directly into the camera, making eye contact with every single other actor.
Yeah.
I love looking.
Nothing I love better than a clear visor line, my temples free of sweat, and eyes making eye contact.
And the movies, by the way, are all pretty bad.
Yeah, I heard this.
The show is amazing.
Doesn't Data die in one of them?
He dies in the last one.
All of them
Nemesis?
die all the time.
Yeah, sad.
And then they bring him back, kind of in Picard.
Yeah.
And then he dies permanently in the first season of Picard, after he's sort of brought back. And then I didn't watch season 3, but I guess they bring him back again.
Lame. Whatever.
Because the guy that wrote him was a different guy than who wrote season 1 of Picard, so he's just like, fuck that, I'm writing Data back in.
See, I really hate it when they change writers like that. That's some fucking Star Wars shit, man.
Yeah.
Like, the fucking sequels, you just should have had the same director for all 3, the same United Vision. Why are you switching up each time? They're not coordinating. They're just fucking... They're conflicting and competing.
The level of teamwork that would be required for 3 different directors to make 3 movies in a trilogy actually coherent would require them to famously work together all the time, rather than this being each one of them basically only working with each other once or twice.
I'll never forgive Rian Johnson for ruining that fucking movie. I'll never forgive him. Ever. Anyway, this is about Star Trek.
Yeah, Star Wars is a whole other IP, which is for, like, dorks, dweebs,
Yes, the age-old rivalry between Trekkies and Star Wars fans. Yes.
I'm more of a
delicious.
Trekkie type guy. And I didn't grow up with either of these, but I don't know why. My dad really liked both of these shows. He was a big sci-fi guy too, but I never really watched... I didn't watch Star Wars, even the original series, until like 2 years ago. I finally sat down and I'm like, I guess I should watch this.
They're very different from what a sci-fi even conceptually is.
Yeah, and then Star Trek I didn't get into until COVID, because... like I had mentioned
yeah.
before,
because of COVID, you don't even need to further explain.
Well, just because
get it.
I wanted to get into it a few years ago, but episodes are too long. But then, there's nothing to do because everyone's sick. I'll binge Star Trek finally. So what that brings us to the movies. I'll do movies. They did 4 of those. This is where it starts to get dumb, because most of TNG is really smart and good. Even the episodes that are kind of guilty pleasures that maybe they're not so well written. Because this is when TV had like 26 episodes in a season. That's why there's 900 episodes all throughout all the original 5 series that they did. Because there's 7 seasons of TNG, 26 episodes each. So I mean that's almost 180 episodes. So they're not every script that you write is going to be a hit.
Right. It does give you quite a lot of chances for character development, though.
Yeah. So I love the show. I'm not trying to be hard on it or anything.
Right.
I just recognize that like 65% of the episodes are pretty good to great.
Yeah.
And then like 25% of the episodes are fine or guilty pleasures or passable otherwise. And then there's 10% that are just like garbage that I never watch.
You just donkey.
Because it's not like you don't have to watch the whole season to get the story. Each episode is kind of self-contained. I mean, sometimes they do 2
Yeah, they're good about that. Yeah.
I mean, that was an episode that was supposed to reach syndication and then be basically played at what time slot fits what episode.
Yeah, because it was all made to be, syndicated. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the movies, first one was 95, Star Trek Generations. And that's where I didn't really talk about the TOS movies, but whatever. The Star Trek Generations, some of the crew, I guess, it becomes canon that some of the crew from the original Enterprise, it was like Kirk and Bones and somebody else, they kind of like disappeared, and they don't know what happened. And then fast forward to modern times with Picard and everybody. They find this like heaven ribbon in space. It's like this ribbon of energy that goes through space, and if you touch it, you go to heaven.
Oh man, that's so cool.
So
that is the final dilemma.
Yeah.
Of course. What else would it be?
The actor who was the villain, or like the main character from Clockwork Orange, whatever that actor's name is, he's the villain of Generations. He's like, I gotta find the heaven ribbon so I can see my family again. It can be anything you want if you go to heaven. I know my family's dead, but I can just pretend they're alive if I'm in heaven forever.
The holodeck isn't a mainstream thing yet. I can't just hide in there.
Yeah. And I guess the way that he wants to do it is gonna cause like an antimatter explosion that will destroy the galaxy or whatever, but he's like, I'll be happy because I'm in heaven, but he'll destroy the galaxy.
Everyone else will be in heaven too, technically. Just the real one.
So they're like, hey, we've got to stop this thing.
Or the one that people think are real. You're definitely in the real one.
Mm-hmm. And so they go to stop this guy, and Picard gets sucked into the heaven ribbon, and he's like, Kirk, what are you doing here? Our heavens intersected somehow.
Are heavens intersected?
It's something like that.
How did Kirk die? Did he touch the heaven ribbon?
Well, yeah, that's how they find out. That's why the crew disappeared all those years ago. They got sucked into heaven. I guess they just don't find the other ones who disappeared. Only Kirk is in it. I guess only Shatner wanted to show up. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to pay for one of them.
Yeah. They all wanted to pay for Shatner.
Yeah, because he's like. He has like his cabin or whatever.
Yeah,
and he's just
he's
like
chopping wood.
That's it. That's all he does there.
He does that.
The voice of his wife or whatever like comes out of the cabin or something.
Yeah, it's something like that.
And then meanwhile, Picard is like fanboying over him.
Yeah. Oh my OMG, I love you so
You're
much.
such a storied character in Star Trek.
You're such a storied character.
Patrick Stewart and Picard are both a better actor and a better character.
Yeah.
So it's really not believable when they're together on screen. Like, Shatner's just like, that's right, I am Captain Kirk. Like, while he's like posing with his fucking hatchet or whatever.
He's striking a big pose.
Yeah, he really chewed the scenery on that one.
Make sure to get me in the full body shot and then the close-up.
Yeah, and they have to have Picard pretend to be like, my God, the legendary Captain Kirk. I studied all your works, or whatever, you know. Yeah. It's so unbelievable.
That's awesome. That sounds great.
I've grown
one prize captain to another.
I've grown to really love Patrick Stewart over the years, not just for his Star Trek things, but for like the voice acting stuff he does. Like he's an American Dad.
Oh, he's so good. He's so good.
Yeah, he's the boss of the main guy.
Yeah. He's Deputy Director Bullock of the CIA.
Mm-hmm. We're shooting guns and doing cocaine.
Join us!
It's so good. He says some crazy shit. Very good.
Mm-hmm. These two characters, Picard and Kirk, they're like, we got to team up to escape heaven. So they bust out of heaven.
Sure.
And
Which Kirk just readily accepts this.
He's like, because he's been there for like 100 years. He's like, what?
I've been stuck in this beautiful heaven realm chopping wood for decades. My wife isn't real. That's all you had to say.
Yep.
Yeah. Then
all right, howdy. Yeah,
he's just with it. Like,
all right, cool, base.
Yeah, because he's a man of action. He's an adventure guy.
Yes.
Kirk just
why not? Let's go.
Just rolls like that.
The reason that their heavens intersected is because what would make heaven better for Captain Kirk is if there was a way to escape heaven and get back to action.
Mm-hmm. That's probably actually right.
That's
probably more than the writers thought about, but that sounds better.
It's not good. This is the first time I'm hearing of it, and I thought of it after a couple minutes.
The movie wasn't very heavy on
working on that.
Yeah, why does that work?
Why does that work? The scene's over.
Well, cause it's not like, it's a generally, it keeps you engaged. It's a fine enough film. I mean, I say it's bad, but it's maybe the least bad of the four that they did. But they escape heaven, and they stop the guy from shooting his rocket into the heaven ribbon, or whatever the fuck.
The plot was bombing heaven.
He wanted to go there, but there was like a rocket or a missile involved. He had to ride the missile into it and blow it up, or something. And
it's pretty metal, bro.
So they stop him from blowing up
attacked our imagination.
And because the ribbon is just the heaven ribbon. The ribbon's just like the gateway, but I think even if you blow it up, he's like, I don't want anyone else to have it. And then I think that's what it was. So he'll go, and then no one else can go, or something. So whatever it was, they stop him, and after they defeat this guy, Kirk dies trying to stop him.
Again.
Yeah. Well, because he just disappeared, so it's been like a kind of a myth, like what happened to Kirk? You know, because the Next Generation is about 100 years after the original series. So, you know, he's been missing for such a long time, and so Picard sees that Kirk has died and just kind of buries his body under a bunch of rocks. Doesn't even really bury him. He just lays him down on a rock and then buries him under tiny
Which is
rocks.
mostly what killed him.
Yeah. and that's
Wait,
never...
he died from rubble?
Pretty much. Well, it's like they were like in a fight or whatever.
There was like a little catwalk, like a metal catwalk to the missile, because he's on the top of this mountain and there's like a metal catwalk over to the missile, and the catwalk it comes apart and falls, and I think Kirk like falls off of it or something.
He gets like impaled or something, and then like there's just like rubble on him, and he does the whole like, it's the end of the line for me. Like, as Picard is just like, no, stay with me. Like,
you must survive. And so he's like, I cannot believe this legendary Kirk is... I can't do Picard at all.
Fully retiring from acting. Oh no.
I can't believe he's died. I'm going to bury him now. Instead of, like, reporting this to Starfleet or... I found the legendary Captain Kirk. He was missing. I fucking found him and he died. Doesn't do any of that. Just buries him in a shallow grave with no...
He has a starship at his disposal.
He has a starship, and he can beam the body. I've got Kirk. Beam him. Beam him out of here. He buries him in a shallow grave, like it's 2500 BC.
I remember when
no military funeral, no getting shot into space, military honor.
Exactly.
At all.
I was going to say, did they shoot Spock into space?
You get rocks, you fucking cuck.
So Kirk got ultimately cucked at the end.
Should have stayed in heaven, bitch.
I thought I found you so I could get you murdered and then fuck you over in the afterlife.
What a based move. You think you're going to be a better captain than me? And he just fucking buries him in a shallow grave to be eaten by foxes.
On some alien moon in the middle of fucking nowhere.
It's so based.
It's
so incredibly based.
The movie is serviceable, but the ending is so bafflingly stupid.
They're kind of all like that, though.
That's real good shit.
Because there's I might have this wrong, but it's Leonard Nimoy directed one of them, right?
Either him or his son. Because his son directed one or two of the episodes of the Next Generation series.
Leonard Nimoy definitely directed one of the movies, because there's a bit in Futurama that I know essentially by heart, where they're talking about, like, Shatner is being like, oh, we worked so well together when he was directing because I respected him, or because I was respectful of him, and then Shatner's like, yes, and then when I was directing him, he did really good because I respected me so much.
Which is I was just gonna bring up that, like, did he do Wrath of Khan? Is that the one?
I don't know which one it was.
I just, like, Nimoy directed one of them, and it was, like, successful enough that, like, Shatner got jealous.
Yeah.
And so he directed one, and it's, like, the stupidest one. Like, I don't even remember what it was about. I think it's the one where they go back in time. And... they're in, like, the 80s or something.
The fourth one, I think.
Yeah, and it's... They're getting some sort of weird message from outer space or something like that.
The big sausage in space?
Yeah, like, and at the end of it is they were here for the whales.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
What?
So
whale tech, Tony.
One of the movies is about aliens essentially coming, and we think it's because we've, like, broken through, like, the warp barrier. Like, somebody had finally figured out, like, that, and that's what's going on. And
Which
then
they do in Voyager.
That's not at all why the aliens were coming. The aliens were coming because of the whales.
Oh.
And
Whale
then,
song?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta save the whales.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Why? Go fuck yourself. There's no reasoning to it at all.
Yeah, it doesn't come up. There's no point. God, that would rule so hard if they make, like, one of the new Star Trek things happen, and then, like, there's a new, like, alien empire that we've discovered at the very edge of what is known space, and then, like, it's like, they can't be stopped. They're smarter than us. They live longer than us. Their bodies are tougher than ours. And then, like, the camera cuts over to, like, a pitch black, like, deck, the deck of the Enterprise type area, but you see that it's sort of glare. There's glare on the screen, and it's glass, and you move into the glass, and you're in water now, and then you hear the ooh, coming this summer.
Well,
The whale empire has come. You should have known.
And obviously, the best one is Wrath of Khan.
Oh yeah, that's the one that people know like as
the most memeable.
It's like the only good one.
that's the meme one.
And it also it's a call back to the actual show.
Well, Star Trek: The Motion Picture was pretty good too. And yeah, Wrath of Khan's good.
Out of the original ones, Wrath of
Yeah.
Khan is.
Yeah, because Khan was one of the episodes that was like, wow, isn't that fucked up?
Yeah.
Hope that doesn't have any consequences. And then they made the movie, and then it did have consequences. Khan! Khan! It's a great scene. Yeah, great scene.
Yeah, that scene that guy is in so much pain he chooses to vaporize himself rather than live with it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Khan was a pretty bad dude. And then what else have we got for this episode? There were the TNG movies. What can we do? First Contact was probably the stupidest one. That's the one that I hate the most. People seem to like this First Contact movie. I mean, I don't. When I say people, I guess the people on the internet. I don't, when you talk on discourse on the internet, maybe there's some people that say they like this.
The
movie.
Guyoviches on the internet.
I would say maybe out of everyone who saw it, there's probably a third of them enjoyed it. Maybe that's my estimate.
Wow.
This seems to be the most popular of the Next Generation movies. It's a big, dumb action movie, so, it's more popcorny, but it's just so stupid. Because First Contact is the name of the movie. The plot is that I don't know. Wait, did the Borg start it? They end up back in time somehow because the Borg are like trying to change the timeline so that
humans don't figure out warp.
Humanity never get first contact.
Because there's the guy and he's like in the woods trying to make a warp crowd and like, you can't do it, Rock. There's no way to go into the warp. And he's like, I can do it.
got the lithium crystal.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
because humans, it's kind of a humbling moment once we achieve warp speed technology. Because that's how you go. The speed of light is warp 1, and we figure out how to eventually go faster than the speed of light. Warp 2, warp 3, 2 times the speed of light, 3 times.
Yeah, and you can't enter the Federation until you establish warp tech. Yeah. And once your civilization establishes warp tech, they can basically read that you did that, and they come contact you. Yeah. Hence the name First Contact.
Yeah, in the Star Trek timeline, the year 2060, Zephram Cochrane creates the first warp-capable ship, and the Vulcans sense the warp trail, and they're like, yo, the humans are popping off, let's go say hi.
Yeah. And they look pretty biologically compatible. One of us better fuck them and make Spock.
Hell yeah. Alien Strange. Harkness test. Well,
our logic is perfect. They are completely passing the Harkness test.
Yeah, Spock's dad, Sarek, he's like, oh, excellent. But so they go back in time, and the Enterprise crew. So the big thing is the Prime Directive. Maybe I should have said this at the beginning because now it's the end of the episode.
Yeah, well,
But a big thing is the
Prime Directive is the big rule that they have to follow.
That's the big rule they have to follow. Every now and then they break it for an episode because it's fun and cool. Yeah. But it's like you can't interfere with a more primitive culture.
Yeah.
They have episodes where they kind of go in disguise. Like, they can get a scan of your body from space and be like, well, let's put on prosthetics to look like you guys and go down and hang out in your culture.
I believe the rules follow, like, if it happened on Earth, would they be like the people who interacted with you, would they be treated as like, that guy's just talking about crop circles and shit? That's A-okay.
Yeah.
Can't fully break contact. You can't do first contact, though.
No, you can't. Yeah, you can't be like, we have...
But you do get to go down there in blackface.
We have speed of light ships. You guys have bows and arrows.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys should come hang out with us. They don't do that. But they also there's a temporal Prime Directive, which is if you find yourself in some weirdo time travel scenario, you shouldn't fuck around too much because you'll fuck up time.
The butterfly effect.
Yeah. So they go back in time to 2060 when Zephram Cochrane is about to finish his first warp-capable engine, and they're like,
Khaki Zep and his incredible invention.
You can't figure out how to do it? We'll help you do it. Like, no, you're messing up the time. That's the one thing you're not supposed to do. He's going to figure it out himself if you interfere.
This is grandfather paradox. Okay, well, now what happens if you never interfered because now you did that? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's immediately, I mean, this is maybe 15, 20 minutes in the film, end up with the back in time thing, but almost immediately, like, very early in the film, it's like, oh
Let's
no,
stop
they're,
changing
like,
the
you can't do
past.
this. I mean, sometimes they break, like I said, they break the Prime Directive because they might have to for whatever
Right.
reason, or because it would make a fun episode, but they never, like, intentionally ever just mess up time like that. But it's like, oh, we'll help you. And we have a warp engine on our giant starship here. And he's like, oh, wow, I have this little tin can. Maybe you guys can help me. So it's just so stupid. So obviously such a bad idea. They would the cast of the original, of the TNG series, they would never ever do that. But in the movie, they're like, yeah, we'll help you out. We got spare warp drive parts.
I hate this.
So that's that's the
The
A
Borg
plot.
already tore off the bandage. We're just taking advantage.
Yeah, so you have that A plot of the movie, and the B plot is Picard going and shooting lasers at the Borg Queen. Yeah, I'm shooting lasers.
Oh, yeah.
I'm swinging around on vines through the start. The pipes come undone. I'm swinging on pipes. Pew, pew, Borg Queen. So
Lucky
the B
she
plot
has
is big.
these
The B plot is
cables.
big dumb action, and the A plot is just the dumbest
Is heresy.
thing that.
Sacrilege.
It's
blasphemy.
It's just it's horrible. I don't like that movie at all. But Insurrection is like it's kind of like a standard Star Trek-y episode, and then Nemesis. I never finished. It was kind of boring. I turned it off halfway through. It's got Tom Hardy in it. Whatever.
Young
and then,
Tom Hardy.
And then I skipped to the end, and I saw where like Data blows up.
Sadness.
But yeah, that's,
Data blows up?
well, yeah, because he. I missed most of the second half of the movie. The ship is gonna blow up. Tom Hardy's ship is gonna blow up for some reason and cause like a black hole to occur.
Yeah.
And Picard and Data are on the ship, and Data's like, only one of us can beam out of here because one of us lost our little beam out thingy, I think.
Right.
So he lets.
There's
Picard,
only one life jacket, and then he forces it
Yeah,
on him.
he's
and
like,
then-
well, I'm not alive, so if I die, it doesn't matter. So he beams Picard out, and then he blows himself up to like save everybody. You know, beams him out of range of the black hole or whatever.
Okay, that's good. So part of me was like, I know the Borg are bad guys. Was Data a villain by the end?
No.
Data sacrifices
Nemesis
himself.
is about Tom Hardy is half Romulan or something. Romulans are another big villain in Star Trek. And maybe I'll talk about more villains in the
Dark
next
Knights.
episode.
Hey! And with that, we're going to end tonight's episode. Thank you so much for listening.
We're getting so good at this, you guys.
If you enjoy the nature of this content, go and give us a like and subscribe on YouTube, and go give me a follow on Blue Sky. And you can support us on our Patreon. Have a good night.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.